I'm probably not supposed to tell you this, but there are 7 types of homes that I actively warn my clients away from, not because of price, not because of location, but because they quietly destroy people's money and peace of mind. And most buyers don't find out what's wrong until it's too late. Let's start with the first type of home to avoid. And this one's gonna surprise you. If you're looking at the largest, prettiest, most expensive home in an otherwise modest neighborhood, the one that makes every other house on the block look small, that's not a win. That is a warning sign. Most buyers think bigger is automatically better, more square footage, more upgrades, more wow factor walking in the door. But here's what nobody tells you. That same house that impresses you today can become almost impossible to sell for what it's actually worth. Why? Because of something agents call overbuilding for the area. Your home's value isn't just about your home, it's about the homes around it. When it's time to sell, appraisers and buyers compare your house to recent sales nearby. And if every other home on the street is smaller and less expensive, your ceiling on resale value is capped by your neighbors, not by your own upgrades. I've watched sellers pour hundreds of thousands of dollars into a home like this. Beautiful renovations, top of the line everything, only to find out that the market simply won't pay them back for it. There's nothing comparable nearby to justify the price. The house is stuck being the most expensive thing for sale on a street where nobody's shopping in that price range. Now, if you love a house like this, that doesn't mean walk away. That's not what I'm saying. It just means go in with your eyes open. This is a house you buy for the long haul, not one that you count on flipping for a quick profit a few years down the road. And that's actually just the first one. The next type of home is even easier to fall for because on the surface, it looks completely move-in ready. That finished basement, that extra bedroom, that gorgeous new deck. Did the seller actually pull permits for it? You'd be surprised by how often the answer is no. Unpermitted work is a hidden landmine. It can mean that the work wasn't inspected, it wasn't up to code, and could create serious safety issues down the road. Electrical, structural, you name it. And here's the part that actually costs buyers. When it is time to sell, unpermitted square footage often doesn't even count towards your home's official size. That 4-bedroom house you bought could legally be a 3-bedroom house on paper, which absolutely affects what a buyer or a bank is willing to pay for it. Before you fall in love with that beautifully finished space, ask your agent to pull permit history. It's one of the easiest ways to avoid a very expensive surprise. Now, here's one that looks absolutely gorgeous right up until its first big storm. I get it. Waterfront and low-lying properties can be stunning, but flood risk is one of the most financially painful mistakes a buyer can make. Flood insurance premiums have been climbing fast, and in high-risk zones, they can add hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars a year to your cost of ownership. And that's before you even consider the risk of actual flood or water damage. Even homes that aren't technically in a mapped flood zone can have serious drainage problems. Poor grading, water pooling near the foundation, a sump pump running constantly. These issues don't always show up on a sunny day when you're going in for the tour. They show up after the first big storm, when you're the one that's dealing with it. Always ask about flood zone status, flood insurance costs, and drainage history before you fall in love with a property. Next up, this one's easy to miss because the red flag isn't even inside the house. If the home you are looking at is part of a homeowners association, do not skip this step. Read the HOA financials. A poorly managed HOA can turn a dream home into a financial trap. Low reserve funds mean the community doesn't have enough money saved for major repairs. Think roofs, pools, roads, or elevators in condo buildings. When those reserves run dry, the HOA doesn't just wish for more money, they issue a special assessment and suddenly you owe thousands of dollars, sometimes with very little notice. I have seen buyers blindsided by assessments of $10,000, $20,000, even more right after closing. So before you buy into an HOA community, request the HOA's financial statements and reserve study. It's one of the least glamorous parts of buying a home and one of the most important. Now, This next type of home is actually one that trips up even experienced buyers because it's easy to miss on a walkthrough. But real quick, if you are finding this helpful, hit subscribe because I break down stuff like this every single week and you don't want to miss the rest of this list. And while I've got you, if you're buying a home anywhere in the country, I can personally connect you with an agent that I have vetted myself, someone that I trust to actually look out for you. And if you're buying here in Western New York or the Buffalo area, you can work with me and my team directly. Links for both are in the description below. Now, let's talk about knob and tube wiring, aluminum wiring, an old fuse box instead of a modern breaker panel. These aren't just quirky old house charm, they're real safety and financial concerns. Outdated electrical systems are a common reason insurance companies deny coverage or charge significantly higher premiums. Some insurers won't even write a policy on a home with certain types of old wiring until it is updated, and updating is not cheap. A full electrical panel and wiring upgrade can run well into thousands of dollars, depending on the size of the home. If you're touring an older home, ask when the electrical was last updated. And if you're not sure, get an electrician's opinion before you write an offer, not after. So now here is one that has nothing to do with the house itself. It's all about what's around it. That home might check every box until you realize it backs up to a busy road, a gas station, or a commercial strip. Noise, traffic, headlights at night, and constant foot or car traffic can all significantly affect both your day-to-day quality of life and your home's resale value. Buyers notice these things immediately, even if you learn to tune it out after living there a while. This is one of those red flags that's easy to overlook during a daytime showing, but becomes obvious the moment you're trying to relax on a Saturday morning or trying to sell the home a few years later. Always visit a property at different times of the day, including evenings and weekends, before you commit to writing an offer. And last, but definitely not least, this is a big one: foundation problems. They can be some of the most expensive repairs in all of home ownership. Cracks in the walls, uneven or sloping floors, doors and windows that stick or won't close properly. These are all signs that a home's foundation may be shifting or settling in ways that it should not. Foundation repairs can range from a few $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars for major structural work. And foundation problems don't fix themselves. They just get worse over time if left unaddressed. This is exactly why a professional home inspection matters so much. Don't skip it, and don't be afraid to bring in a structural engineer if your inspector flags anything concerning. And that foundation issue right there, that's usually the one that turns a dream home into a nightmare, because it's the one buyers are most tempted to ignore when they've already fallen in love with everything else in the house. Here is the thing though, none of these 7 types of houses are automatic deal breakers. I wouldn't say that. I've had clients buy homes with a couple of these red flags and still make a great decision because they went in with their eyes open, asked the right questions, and got the right inspections before they signed anything. That is really the whole game in real estate. Not avoiding every imperfect house, but knowing exactly what you're walking into before it's your problem to fix. If you're in the middle of house hunting right now and want a second set of eyes on a home you're considering, that's literally what I do all day. Send me the listing and I'll tell you exactly what I'd be looking out for. And speaking of what to look out for, I've got another video where I break down 7 home inspection red flags every buyer should know before they walk through a single showing. If you're actively house hunting, that one's gonna save you just as much as this one did. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.